Super Smash Bros. Ultimate releases soon, and there are fighters yet to be revealed. Speculation has run wild for the past few months. One in particular is about a new representative from Xenoblade. Ever since Smash Bros. Wii U launched in 2014, Xenoblade has grown immensely, with the release of Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, Xenoblade Chronicles X, and now Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Xenoblade is on track to becoming one of Nintendo's most popular RPG franchises. And because of that, we can't have only one representative from the flourishing series. So, who are the contenders for this next character slot? Several characters could arguably make it, but I feel the two most likely are the main protagonist of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Rex, or the deuteragonist of Xenoblade Chronicles X, Elma. And then I saw her face. People have been going back and forth between these two within the Xenoblade community for quite some time now. I'm here to bring evidence for both sides on why they could be a newcomer and why they might not be. This is pure speculation based off of extensive research, and just so you know, this is 100% spoiler free. I won't be revealing any spoilers from Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, or X. So, let's get into it. Beginning with the lesser known character, Elma, from Xenoblade Chronicles X. Not Elmo, Elma. If you don't know X, it's a spin-off series of Xenoblade Chronicles? I'm not really sure how to label it. It has more sci-fi elements such as player-controlled mechs, lightsabers, and even aliens. The game itself focuses more on exploration than story. A main story exists, but it's not nearly as strong as the side stories, which are brilliantly written. The main character of X is technically the Avatar, whose default name is Cross. But Elma is just as, if not more important than Cross. Therefore, many consider her to be the face of X, akin to Shulk being the face of Xenoblade Chronicles 1. And with recent downloadable content allowing Elma to join your party in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the developers, Monolith Soft, clearly consider her to be the most important character from X, meaning she would be the obvious choice to represent Xenoblade Chronicles X in Smash Bros. Now, how likely is it that Elma will make it in? Well, there's actually a surprising amount of evidence. For starters, Xenoblade X is the first in a trilogy. Tetsuya Takahashi, the director of the Xeno games, even recently talked about wanting to make a sequel to X. Because of there being at least one sequel, Elma would be relevant for years to come as a representative of the X series, compared to Shulk and Rex, who likely won't be the protagonists of any future Xenoblade Chronicles games. Another point for her is that Xenoblade Chronicles X was released a few months before the director of Smash Bros., Masahiro Sakurai, completed his project plan for Smash Bros. Ultimate, meaning she was relevant at the time Sakurai was deciding the final roster of the game. And for the final point, let's rewind back to 2016 where Sakurai talked about needing a VFAM, I think that's how I pronounce it, figure as a reference point for his new game. More specifically, the rifle on the figure. VFAM is a 1983 mech anime. What game also involves mechs and big guns? I need a bigger gun! Xenoblade X, or Custom Robo. But for this video, let's just talk about Xenoblade X. Because of this, many people speculated Sakurai could be working on a mech model for Smash. Mechs, which are called skells in Xenoblade X, play a key role in X, and would likely be Elma's final Smash if she became a playable fighter. And we have yet to see any evidence of this figure in Smash Ultimate. So perhaps Elma is on her way. Those are the three main factors that support Elma getting into Smash Ultimate. But of course, with any speculation, there are counterpoints. The main downfall being popularity. Xenoblade Chronicles X didn't sell as well as either of the Chronicles games. It's much less popular simply because it was put on the Wii U, one of the worst selling consoles to date, and it was trashed by some fans for being too different from the other Chronicles games. and in turn, less people know the characters. Not that many people know who Elma is. To many, she just looks like another sword-wielding character, when in reality, she's a lot more than that. And on top of all of that, the Smash ballot ended before American and European players got a chance to play her game. And after seeing Ridley and K. Rool get in, it's pretty clear that Sakurai is picking characters based on the ballot results. So unless she had a huge surge in popularity in Japan when X released, it's unlikely she made it in. And when looking at the recent poll that went out in Japan for Smash Bros. Characters, she wasn't even in the top 25. Don't get me wrong, I know Elma has a dedicated fan base behind her. She's just not as universally recognized compared to a certain somebody.
What?
Rex and Pyra, the main characters of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the game that seems to be a sensation to Switch owners. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is a more traditional Xenoblade game. Major focus on the story, linear, more fantasy than sci-fi, a smaller cast, and it also has some additions like monster collecting, deeper combat, and of course, waifus. The game has erupted in popularity. Everywhere I go, I see Xenoblade 2. It's insanity and fantastic. As a Xenoblade fan, I absolutely love the Xeno series getting some attraction. Xenoblade 2 has so much more fans than Xenoblade X. So much so, I recently posted a tweet about Elma getting to Smash, and I got several replies saying, "Who is she?" It's clear that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is a lot more popular, and that's what motivated me to research both characters and make this video. I also made a poll asking who people think would get into Smash, Rex or Elma, and Rex doubled Elma's votes. It's obvious that Rex has the popular vote. In the recent official polling for characters in Japan, Rex was the #1 spot that Japan players thought would get into Smash. Rex's popularity could very well carry him into this game, similar to Ridley and King K. Rool. Even Sakurai has even talked about how much he loves Xenoblade 2, and while I may be coming off as a 100% Elma supporter, I also would really love to see Rex in Smash. Unfortunately, Rex only really has popularity to back him. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 began development roughly around July of 2014, so having him isn't too far-fetched. But there's a catch. When Monolith Soft began developing 2, the reception for X was coming out. Takahashi said specifically that the developers grew impatient after hearing fans ask, "Why did you change it?" Because of the backlash from Xenoblade Chronicles X, Monolith Soft decided to completely change their current product and create Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Meaning if Rex was even part of their original game, he would have likely been vastly different than the Rex we have today. And because of how many changes Rex probably went through, they didn't have enough concept art to make him a Smash character, and Sakurai probably didn't have enough resources to actually make him a fully fledged fighter. And while this is a widely discussed situation, many may point to Greninja's evidence. Greninja was chosen and made into a fighter through concept art by Sakurai. But this is where people need to put Greninja and Rex into perspective and compare them. Greninja is a Pokemon, one of the 721 Pokemon that existed at the time. He's not even a required Pokemon. He has nothing to do with the story in X or Y, or any future game. His moveset is extremely flexible because of this. Whereas Rex is the main character of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, his moves can't be just made up like Greninja's were. Making up moves for Rex is like making up moves for Shulk. It wouldn't make sense, and it would just make fans angry, because of how tied to the story Shulk's moveset is. Imagine seeing Shulk without his iconic backslash or Monado arts, just because Sakurai was basing it off of the concept art. It wouldn't make any sense, and it would just upset many fans. I feel that most of my points for Rex were more negative than positive, but in reality, the only thing he really has going for him is popularity, which makes me believe he's perfect for DLC. In a perfect world, we would get both Elma and Rex, which is why I'm personally rooting for Elma getting into the base game. Rex, I feel, is almost a guarantee for DLC, so if we have Elma in base and Rex in DLC, everyone will be happy. Well, the Xeno fans will be. Soon Xenoblade will be treated like Fire Emblem. There are too many Xenoblade characters! Thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments which character you prefer to get in this Smash Base game. Elma or Rex. Rock that hashtag Team Elma or hashtag Team Rex. What am I doing? I don't know. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later.